Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Decided we're going to do a Q&A today. I asked some people that follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter yesterday if you had any questions for me that you'd want me to answer on camera. I was going to film this last night, but we ended up having storms. Then I was going to do it this morning, and we had tornado warnings. So we're finally getting to it. Finally going to answer those pressing questions that everyone has, for some reason, to ask me. So let's get started. Alright, let's get started with Instagram people first. My first question I had is my single favorite iteration of the Joker, and that's pretty easy for me. It's The Killing Joke. I love this take. I love the art that Brian Bolland does. I love the writing that Alan Moore does. It just blew my mind for the Joker. Like everything else just can't compare to that for me. So, I mean, if I had to pick a second favorite, probably either the animated series Joker or the Joker in Sean Murphy's White Knight. Those are like all very Joker to me. Those are all very like what I think of when I think of the Joker. So, yeah. Next up is what made me fall in love with comics, and it's like a long story because I don't remember a time I didn't like comic characters. I didn't have interest in comics. My first comic I was given was the first Jim Balent Catwoman issue. I loved Catwoman. She was my first favorite before Harley. And I remember my brother read comics. He had everything from Marvel, DC, random independent type things, all kinds of stuff. And I was always interested in it. I always wanted to get into his comics and get into things. My mom loves comics, comic book characters. My mom collects Wonder Woman, if you guys didn't know. So it runs in the family. It's part of who I've always been. So it's hard to say exactly what it was. Except maybe just like family influence, like wanting, like being a part of my family, being a part of this group of crazy people that were really into nerdy things before it was like really cool to be into nerdy things. So I guess that's my best answer for that. Up next is, do I remember and still have my first purchased Harley item? And I have two. I have two that I remember having early on. I didn't really have access to all the cool Warner Brothers store stuff when I was younger, and my mom didn't really have the money for it. So I got what I could get for a long time until like I could use the internet and had my like mom's permission to order things for my birthday and stuff like that, or like people would gift me things. So my first thing I had, or for one of the first two things I had, is the Harley Barbie and a Harley Quinn action figure. Both of which I have actually bought later down the line another one. The Harley Barbie, I had to buy a second because my dog killed her. He chewed her to pieces and I was heartbroken. Then I got a new one to replace it and mend my heart. And the other one, I had it out of the box. I lost the stuff that came with it. Because I was a child, I just wanted to play with Harley because I loved her and she was so cute. But, you know, the problem with doing that as a child is that you end up losing the things that go with it. So I still have the figure. I went ahead and bought a second of the figure a few years ago. I found it at a convention at a good price. So, still in the box. I have the little Harley that's out of the box sitting on the one in the box. They're friends. It's good. It's all good times. So yeah, those were my first two. I still have them. The murdered Harley Barbie is still here. She's just boxed away in a sad little toy sarcophagus. Up next is, what did I think of season 1 of the DC Universe's Harley Quinn solo series? And honestly, I watched one episode. It was okay. I didn't hate it. Kind of worried that I would. I need to finish it. I'm gonna finish it. I know it's surprising I haven't finished it, but here we are. I guess I have time to do it now, all things considered. So, I mean, I'll try to get to it soon. Up next is, how do I feel about Harley being a hero? And That's a tricky question. To me, Harley, I will always consider Harley a villain, but I consider her a villain that kind of walks the line. I don't think she's evil. And I mean, I could go into a whole, if you want it, I'll do it. I could go into a whole video with my opinions on things about Harley that are semi-controversial or people are very torn down the middle on. If you want to see that, let me know. I'll do it. So, but yeah, like for me, honestly, it depends on how she's written, the way she's handled. If I like how she's written as a hero, so that, yeah, like that's the best answer that I've got. Next question is what inspired me to start collecting, and that would be again my family. My brother had collections of things, my mom collects things, and I wanted to collect things too. I didn't start actively thinking of it as a collection until I was probably maybe a freshman in high school. Like it just kind of popped in my brain one day. I was like, I have some of the stuff that I had from when I was a kid, and if I put it all on a shelf and I look at it and I love it and I be happy that it's there, like I guess I do have a collection. I guess I can have a collection. Then like the thing that really motivated me to do more with my collection, besides to just like have it in my room, is Instagram 2014. I didn't really know what to do with Instagram. I just kind of posted whatever. I didn't have much joy from it. I didn't connect with people that much. And then the account Batman Collection liked a random Harley thing or Batman thing that I posted, and I was like, Batman Collection, that's a really cool account name. I want to look at it. And I clicked on it and I looked, and he had so many amazing things, like vintage things, movie things, animated series things, Harley things, Riddler things. Like he had everything, and it was amazing to me. And I realized, looking through hashtag like Batman Collection and things like that, I saw there's all these people like me. They collect like I do. I have people who don't think I'm crazy that I want to have like all these toys and I want to show them off and I want to feel cool about it, because I don't have that many people here like that have the same interests as me. So yeah, like I attribute it to my family. I attribute it to Batman Collection on Instagram. If you're not following him, go follow him. Do it. Trust me. Best collection on Instagram. Super, super nice. Love the guy. So yeah. Which Harley is my favorite? If you're meaning like what version of Harley is my favorite, the classic Jester suit Harley is always gonna hold my heart. Like the animated series, Arlene Sorkin, like wonderful Harley is always gonna be my favorite. Always. So yeah. My favorite Harley story, if you haven't watched my Harley recommendation list, I'll leave a link below. But my favorite Harley story, even though it's technically non-canon, is Batman White Knight. I think for me, Sean Murphy handled Harley and handled the sort of complicated world of Harley fans right now very, very, very tastefully to me. There's a lot of people who don't agree. There's a lot of people who are like, how could he do that? That's insulting. And I don't think it is. Like, I think how he handled it was good. I think he gave respect to classic Harley fans and newer Harley fans who came out with the movies or the newer comics, like the Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner versions, things like that. So if like I had to pick a favorite story, like comic book Harley, it's Harley in Batman White Knight. If I have to pick just a general Harley, Jester suit, Batman the Animated Series. Next question is, how long have I loved Harley? And you know what? Forever. Honestly, I remember Harley coming out on the animated series, and at first I was like, she's cool. Cool little clown girl. I dig her. I mean, I was a child. I was in love with Catwoman. I wanted to be Catwoman. Catwoman was cool. But as we went along in the animated series, it grew more and more from just like, she's really cool, to like, I want to be her. She's so cool. She's like different. She's silly and funny and smart, and she almost took Batman down, and like, wait, if the Joker wouldn't have stopped her, I mean, that was amazing to me. She'd done something that all the other villains couldn't do. So I think honestly probably was Mad Love that really properly converted me, took me away from Selena and handed me to Harley and said, here you go, enjoy a lifetime of crying, kid. So yeah. The next question is, with your unique look, have you ever been stopped for a photo or stopped and questioned about like your unique style? Like unique style. Yeah, that all depends on the day. Like, I think that goes for anybody with kind of a different look, a more unique way of approaching life. I was a little baby goth before I like fused that with Harley and cosplay things. So I've always kind of been used to getting stared at and get used to like, sometimes people are nice and they want to take your picture, and sometimes they're like, oh, I'm gonna pray for you, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, all right. Thanks, I guess. So yeah, like, it all depends on the person, and like, if they want to stop you and take a picture because they're being nice and they think you look cool, or if they want to take a picture and put you on People of Walmart because you have red and black hair and people think you're crazy. Next question. Who do you work for? Do you work for DC? No. I wish I worked for DC. DC. Hit your girl up. No, I don't work for DC. This is all purely my own fan love. DC does not pay me. DC themselves do not really give me anything. I've had a handful of companies send me things to like work with me, and a good percent of the time they're products that I already purchased, and they just gave me one for review, gave me one as a thank you for helping promote them, things like that. So I don't work for DC. I kind of work for myself, kind of work writing for other people, but that's what I do. I work from home. I do travel related things, I do nerd related things, comic book reviews, horror stuff. Like, I'm all over the place. I'm always doing something. Next question is, could you show us your collection? Great question. There's some of it. Actually, yeah, I'm working on it slowly but surely, getting little pieces of my collection, filmed it up on YouTube, and on top of that, I'm eventually, when I get everything settled down again to the way I like it, I would like to do a room tour. It's just hard right now because it's kind of a mess. I've had to expand to 2 rooms. There's now two collection rooms for my Batman stuff. I have a problem. Plus, there's like a ton of stuff in my closet. Yeah, I can show you a bunch of boxes in my closet if you want to see it. And my last question from Instagram from a friend of mine is, would you ever want to own a comic shop? And yes, I would. I would love to own one. I would love it to fill it with awesome people who love comics. And I would love to inspire a new generation of people to love comics. And I would love to let my nieces run amok in it and want to buy all the things. So yeah, like, I would love to have a shop. It's not exactly my goal. It's not my goal in life. If life were to work out that way, that would be awesome. Like, I could go to work every day, be Harley, enjoy things, talk to people about comic books, share my favorite creators, things like that. So I would love to. I would if I could. So yeah. Now we're gonna get into the Facebook questions. Starting with, what made me want to be a Batman fan? And that's again, it goes back to my family. My brother is a big Superman, Green Lantern fan. My mom's a big Wonder Woman fan. So, like, especially the Superman and Wonder Woman, I came along. There had to be a Batman in the Holy Trinity, right? But, like, I was always drawn to Batman. I thought he was a lot cooler than Superman. Superman was too goody two shoes and happy for me. And Wonder Woman, like, I like Wonder Woman, but like there was something very appealing about Batman. I've always been drawn to like darker characters and darker sides of things. So like Little Angel was like, yay, Shadow Batman. I don't know. I loved him. Like I don't remember a time I didn't love Batman. My mom said I was glued from early on. Like she would let me watch reruns of 66 because she loved Batman 66. She would let me watch cartoons like animated series and I was in love. Or I would watch Batman 89 and Batman Returns and I was absolutely infatuated. So like it was always like a character that I loved and I was drawn to. I like just everything about him, and I think a good part of it for me is I liked that he didn't have a power, but he was still willing to go out there and put his life on the line to help people and to try to change things. And that's something I as a person identify with in a way. Like I feel like in a sense I don't have power, but I want to try to change things in the world. I want to try to help people. I will fight for the underdog even if I'm not necessarily in the best position to do so. So I don't know. I kind of want to be Batman, maybe. It's part of it. So yeah. Up next, if you could be represented in a comic, anime, manga, or cartoon type media, how would you want to be represented? As yourself, a new character with your name, and if that, elaborate on what's what. So, I'm kind of already a character if you know me in real life. I am a mess. I'm very like dark, not dark humor in a tasteless way, I would say. Like there's a line that you don't cross over with me. But I approach dark things with funny things. Like I am the comedic relief to many of my friends, and that's probably part of why Harley was always very relatable for me. I liked that she was silly and fun and smart and things like that. So, I think I would want to be like kind of a cross between me and Harley. I would want to be this dark, weird, funny girl version, like just like a more caricaturized version of myself. So, still me, but like more entertaining for like a cartoon or whatever. You'd want somebody a little bit more appealing than me. What was the first time I knew I would always appreciate comics? Oh, that's a tough one. I think there's been like a handful of comics that I read in probably especially high school that I just really, they resonated with me. They really hit. Like Watchmen was very important to me. Rorschach is one of my absolute favorite characters of all time. And I know that you shouldn't idolize. This is like the Joker stuff. You shouldn't idolize them technically, but like they're you can have appeal to them. And I will always remember like the panel where he says, "Never compromise, not even in the face of Armageddon." And while there's situations that maybe you should compromise even in the face of Armageddon, or especially in the face of Armageddon, there's things that I feel like you hold true to yourself, to your morals. Like if it's something you really truly believe in, you should not compromise even in the face of Armageddon, even in the face of potentially looking like a fool or friendships being questioned. If you strongly believe in something and it is very important to you and it's not a trivial little thing and people can't accept that about you, don't change yourself. Like you should not change yourself for other people. This is getting really mushy really fast. If you had to choose a single medium to enjoy your superheroes and characters, what medium would you pick? Comics, books, TV, etc. Comics, probably. That's a tough one. Probably comics. I feel like you can get a lot more and you can get a lot of variety and you can get a lot more of a singular person / team's vision, depending on the comic. Yeah, I think probably comics. There's the sky's the limit. You can draw whatever, you can write whatever, crazy, bizarre, wonderful things can happen in a comic that would be harder to produce in another medium. So probably comics. What artist had the biggest impact on me? Ugh, that's a hard one. I went to school for art, and English. So these things are things I'm like, I can go on and on and on and on and on about. So, probably with comic books, Bruce Timm. Bruce Timm's like one of the most like iconic styles that really stands out to me. Gwalem March. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering that name. Gotham City Sirens art, and he does like a lot of the covers, and he's currently doing some art on, or he has been doing some art on Batman. I'll put his name here. You'll know who I'm talking about. He's one of my favorites. Actually his art is on my shirt today. So Gotham City Sirens, what? Sorry for that. But yeah, like he's a big one for me. Like he's one of my favorites. I love Frank Cho. I think Frank Cho does a fantabulous Harley. Oh, that was an accident. Sorry. My brain just froze. Sean Murphy, Jason Fabok, David Finch, Lee Bermejo has like mind-blowing art. Like his art is gorgeous. Like speechless. Yeah. So there's a lot. There's a ton of artists there, and like besides just like big comic book industry people or people who draw my favorite characters, there's a ton of smaller, not working in comics artists that are amazing, or artists that do stuff that's, you know, not just comics, things like that. So art is very big to me. Art is very important to me. I love good art. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want, I could do a whole video about favorite artists and butcher more names for you. Who is my favorite female superhero or female anti-hero? I guess if you could consider Harley an anti-hero in some regards, like Harley obviously. Beyond that, Catwoman. Catwoman is probably my second favorite comic book lady. If we got out of DC and we went into, say, Marvel, Scarlet Witch and Storm and Jessica Jones. I've loved Storm since I was a little girl. I was like obsessed with X-Men, and like my first X-Men action figure I remember was Storm. And let's see, if we went outside of the big two, Erica Slaughter is pretty badass in Something is Killing the Children, so she's pretty cool. I want to be her. I don't know. There's a lot of really cool comic book ladies out there. Check them all out. I'm just gonna add this question in, even though nobody asked it this time, but I get asked it at least 2 times a week now. And, you know, every other time that I ask for questions for anything, people ask me this question. But what do I think of Punchline in Batman, Joker's new girlfriend? And let me tell you what I think about that. Hype buying is obnoxious. I can't even have an opinion about the character yet, really. Like, I don't. I don't have an opinion. My biggest opinion was being annoyed by people who went and bought Batman 89, issue 89 and 90 because they wanted appearances of this new Joker's girlfriend, the new Harley Quinn. And that annoys me. Like, you know, I read Batman. I have many issues of Batman. I read Batman regularly, and when I couldn't get a comic before it came out, like, I couldn't even, like, be like, hey, put this on my pool. Gets me frustrated. I don't really have an opinion about Punchline otherwise. Do I think she was necessary? Right now, no. Like, if her sole purpose is to be the new Harley Quinn or the Joker's girlfriend, like, I don't think that's enough flesh on the bone for me. Like, I like characters that have depth and are interesting. Maybe when she has a backstory, or maybe when I can read Batman 89, 90, 91, etc. because I actually have them. Maybe I'll like her better. I heard her design's cool. I mean, I like clown ladies. They're great, obviously. But right now, I don't have an opinion. Like, I don't care either way. Like, my only peeve is I would like her to have more substance. She may have more substance. We just got her. But then also these people that hype buy and they're like, oh, new character. If I go buy 7 copies of this and I put them all on eBay for $100, I'll make $700 because this is going to be a $5 million book one day. Some dumb things. You get dumb people. Okay? You get dumb people. So that's enough ranting about Punchline. I don't have an opinion about her. I don't care about ships. And I'm probably going to do a whole video on that soon. And to really go over, like, another question I'm frequently asked. And I wasn't asked this time, surprisingly. But I'm always asked, who do I ship Harley with? Do I want her with the Joker? The original daddy? Oh, I can't believe I said that. Or do I want her with Ivy? Her wonderful lady love? Or is there somebody else? What's my opinion? And I guess I'll do that another time. Like, we can get into it if you guys want. So, yeah. And the last thing, it's not a question, it's just a thank you before I let you guys go. My friend Mars, I will leave her Instagram right up here somewhere. Sent me a nice little care package, little goodies. So I got a nice little note with a nice little Batman. That's pretty cool. I got some pretty sweet Star Wars stickers. Very exciting. I love Star Wars, bet you didn't know that. A 66 Batman, Catwoman, little Hot Wheel. Pretty awesome. Like I said before, Catwoman's like my second favorite lady, so good stuff. And then my favorite Batman movie, Batman Returns, little Catwoman stuff. So, yay! Thank you, Mars. I don't have a P.O. box. I don't know that anyone would have any interest in sending me anything. I just wanted to throw out a thank you. If for some reason you want to send me something, I'll figure out how you can send it to me. Message me. I don't know. You don't have to. Nobody has to send me anything. I'm throwing that out there. Nobody needs to. It's just if for some reason you do, especially if you're like one of my friends and you're like, hey, Angel, here's some stuff. And I'll be like, hey, thank you. And I'll cry to myself because I'm very emotional. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video and sticking around this long and listening to me talk about absolutely nothing while looking like a crazy person. I appreciate you. I'm so glad that there's so many of you now and we're growing every day. Send me friends. If you know other people who love Harley, who love comics, who love weird travel and horror and everything else, we'll do more fun things. We'll do more stuff here. So, yep, all of that was good. Anyway, yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye. One of my questions was, how do I feel about people with foot fetishes? I guess you do you. As long as nobody gets hurt. I'm not a... Yeah, I'm good.